Smoke on the water, fire engine guy, fire in the sky, bugs on the water. Welcome to the podcast. The reason I'm singing that is because I am sitting on a dock, on a lake, at a cottage, 6 a.m. The sun is coming up. The water is still. Bugs around. And I'm hoping for the wild sounds of a loon during this intro. This week on the podcast, very interesting. It is, in many senses of the word, a trip, a Hatfield trip. First of all, we're going into the mind and life of William Hung, who in 2004 became super famous because of an appearance on American Idol. Not for the good reasons. In fact, the judges were making fun of him, and that was seen by hundreds of millions of people. So this guy's become super famous because of that, and how he's overcome that and used that for good, not evil. The way this came about is I just saw on social media William Hung was in town at a speaking engagement, and I Googled his name, got an email address, emailed him, and like within 10 minutes I get a message back saying, yeah, I'll do it. Then we went back and forth. He couldn't do it. He made an arrangement. He called me back, said, okay, I found a way, and then called me back and said, oh, my flight is earlier, couldn't make it, but we never gave up. And I offered to drive him to the airport from his photo shoot on Bank Street, picked him up at a Tim Hortons, so this is actually a trip to the airport. We figured out a way to have it hands-free. I put my speakers in the drink holders. It was real cool, real slick. It was just like a conversation on the way to the airport. We got a lot to learn from this dude, man. He's been through a lot. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
You're listening to the Mark Hatfield podcast.
You want to go fight some crime?
I got your number, I know your name, and I know you play the game.
Hello. Are you there?
Yes.
We are live
Yes.
with William Hung. How are you, sir?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Very good. You're in Ottawa. What are you in Ottawa for?
Oh, I was doing a lot of promoting and speaking for the Ottawa Real Estate Investors Organization yesterday.
Oh, wow. That sounds very interesting. Thanks for doing the podcast. I really appreciate having you on the show, taking some time. What we're doing here is we're actually driving William to the airport. We've got it all rigged up, so I'm hands-free, and safety is paramount here, but he's decided, or he's been gracious enough to give us some time to have a quick chat about his successes, failures, the obstacles that he's overcome, and to get to the point that he's at in his life. So quickly though, you've been in Ottawa how many days? Sorry,
About 3 days.
3 days. And what did you get to any restaurants? What were some things that you'd remember about this city?
Well, I got on a sailboat with one of my friends yesterday near on the Ottawa River.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had like a quick driving tour this morning with another friend, and saw the Parliament.
Beautiful.
Saw quite a few architectures, like the history museum. So it was nice.
First time in Ottawa?
Yes, first time.
Oh, right on. And you've come at a nice time of year. It's beautiful weather, no snow. And so originally from Hong Kong,
Yes,
and you came here at what age?
I came here like United States, like 10 years old.
When you're 10 years old. So what was it like growing up in Hong Kong at the time? That was the 80s?
Yeah, like I don't remember that much, but I remember it was less crowded. Nowadays it's even crazier.
Did you live downtown? Is it all it's all downtown, right? So it's all...
It feels that way because Hong Kong is very packed.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so like people are very closely bunched together. Buildings are very tall.
Yeah. And so you lived in a big building, obviously, or
we live in a tall building, not a big room at all. We had a very small room with my parents.
yeah. How many people in the family?
Only 3, because my mom, my dad, and myself.
Your mom? Oh, 3 people. Okay, well that's a small family. That makes sense. And that was still when it was I guess a UK possession.
Yes.
have you been back since I think it was the late '90s, right, when it switched back over?
Yes, I went back a few times to shoot a movie and then perform.
Big shot, hey?
I know,
The
crazy.
hero returns.
Yeah.
Did people in Hong Kong did they know about your American Idol fame at that point?
Yes, they did. That's why I got invited to shoot in the movie, and the name of the movie was called "Where Is Mama's Boy?"
And that's you. Your
That
mama's
was
boy.
me.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. So, from a very young age, you love music. Is that the case, or?
Not really. Basically, I studied for civil engineering, but I wasn't doing well. I got a D real fast, and I just didn't think I could go anywhere with it. So what happened was that I saw like a poster for a school talent show.
Okay.
I won the talent show.
Nice.
I won a DVD player with She Bangs. And then that's why when I saw the audition coming over to San Francisco, I just tried.
So in Hong Kong, you won the DVD player?
No. It was in United States. After I got into studying
Yeah?
for UC Berkeley.
Okay. So you're at this point you're at UC Berkeley studying civil engineering and karaoke. You did She Bangs?
Yes.
And you won the contest.
I
Very-
won the
very-
yes.
the DVD player.
Yes.
You thought this is the greatest thing that I've ever done with music, right? You're like, DVD player, this is sweet. I can watch Die Hard all night long. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then you see a poster for American Idol.
I actually it went something like this. I saw the poster for the talent show at school, but it was right afterwards. I saw on Fox News that auditions will be coming over to San Francisco, and that's when I decided to try out.
And you're like, man, I got no musical experience except for this one karaoke thing. I'm going to go up against all these other... Had you seen American Idol to this point, the TV show?
I actually saw American Idol, and I was honest with myself. I thought I had no chance either.
Yeah.
But there was like 3,000 people standing in line the
Yeah.
first day, and it wasn't the three judges.
That's like
we all
catching a
know.
bus in Hong Kong, isn't it? That's no big deal.
Yeah, it's like all the staff members, they were screening people out left and right.
Yeah.
15 to 30 seconds. See you later. Go home.
Yeah.
But then somehow they let me sing over a minute, and they let me through the next day.
That was the audition.
That was the preliminary audition that people didn't see.
And so you've left there the first day. You're like, wow, I must be pretty good. Is that what you're thinking? Or you're thinking, wow, they think this is silly? Or what are your thoughts?
My thoughts were that maybe I have a chance because I won a talent show, and now they let me through the next round. Maybe I have a chance in front of Randy, Paul, and Simon.
Dude, I love the confidence, right? So that's sort of what it's all about, to attack it with confidence. And you go in there the next day, and what happens the next day? So you're the first day, 3,000 people in line.
Yes.
And so you're waiting for, what, 10 hours to get to these people?
I only waited about 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours, okay. So, I mean, you're used to that in where you come from. Lots of lines, lots of people, everything takes time.
Yeah.
And so you get there, no big deal. You're
Yes.
confident, you do it.
Yes.
They think, wow, I'm invited back the next day. Next day, what happens?
Well, the next day, what's weird about that, on the evening, I heard on the Fox News again that they said there's only about 180 people left. So at that point, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, I'm in the top 6%? That's pretty good.
That is good.
Yeah, and then the next day I saw the producers, and I did the same thing. They let me through again.
Okay.
And then I finally saw Randy, Paula, and Simon.
Okay, so let's take us to that time. You get up on stage, and what are you telling yourself in your head? It's about confidence? You're thinking, I can do this. Your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts were that I was still honest with myself that I had no expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I made it past all these wrongs, because at the end of the day, we all know that there's only one winner each year.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where you get eliminated. You still get eliminated. So in my head, I was thinking, okay, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have fun, no big deal.
Yeah, great experience.
Yeah.
And so at the end of this day, how many people are they picking? Do you know that? Like, is your thought like, let's just get past this day here?
Yes, I just thinking one audition at a time, one round at a time.
And so you get up on a stage, and you got what are the names? Randy,
Paula,
Abdul,
and Simon.
And Simon. Okay, and there's just the three of them watching, obviously with some producers.
Only three, and maybe plus the producers.
So I mean, the pressure's fairly low, right? You're not like you're on stage at this point. I guess there's cameras, and you could tell yourself something like, "Oh, there's millions of people watching." But if you don't make it, it may not even get onto the TV. So I guess the pressure's sort of low for that, right? Like,
I don't know why. Actually, the pressure when I know I was going to see Randy, Paula, and Simon,
yeah.
the pressure was high again. It was the highest in my life because I realized the potential for millions of people to see my audition.
Right. So now you're starting to play tricks with yourself, tell yourself things in your head. What were the people around you doing? The other contestants?
Some of them were practicing the singing. Some of them I saw them like shaking their hands, their feet, trying to like let loose of their nerves.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there
No, just standing in line, very stoic. Yeah.
Very stoic.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you get up there and music starts. And what song was it? She Bangs?
It was She Bangs by Ricky Martin.
Can you give us a couple of little lines of that?
Sure.
All right.
She bangs, she bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves. I go crazy 'cause she loves like a flower, but she stings like a bee. Like every girl in history.
She bangs, she bangs. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
That was nice. That was sweet. But obviously you've been practicing, right? You've been doing this now for, 14 years?
Wow.
For people? That was good, right? Like, he wasn't... how has it changed? Has it changed, or was that what it was? I gotta excuse me. I remember it all happening. I don't remember, like, did you dance around too, or?
Yeah, I actually danced. I tried to have a good time, entertain them.
Yeah.
And what happened was, people may have seen it on TV. So what happened was that Randy held a white sheet of paper to cover up his face and giggled throughout the entire audition.
Okay.
Paula was smiling, enjoying herself, but Simon was frowning.
He was upset. He was...
Yes.
Okay.
And then when I sang the chorus, he stopped me at the middle of my chorus and said, "Thank you, thank you.
He wanted to get rid of you.
You can't sing, you can't dance, so what am I going to say?"
And then, so what? You just walk off? You're sad? It's over?
No, I said I was shocked at the moment, but I gathered myself and said I already gave my best. I have no regrets at all.
Yeah, and that's the case for anything, right? Like, if you try your hardest, give it everything you got, and that's the way you should approach everything, right?
Yes.
Like how has that affected the rest of your life? And we'll get on to the rest of the story, but now when you face things in life, maybe shooting a movie or whatever it is that sort of the same way you approach it because of that lesson?
Yes. I feel that in life, as long as you genuinely gave your best, you could walk away without feeling too bad about failing.
And so you were in town, and you're a motivational speaker. And is that your message? What's your carry away message when you talk to groups?
I typically adjust my message a bit depending on the audience,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very similar. It's either over some kind of theme, central theme, overcoming adversity,
Mm-hmm.
like how life is not all about winning or losing. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to fail. It's okay to try new things.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say is your major adversity that you faced, that you've overcome?
Oh, the biggest one is rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Too many no's in life.
Okay, but so you've had maybe the greatest whatever like non-rejection. You went from, we'll just slide back into that story. You've been told, I guess that's the rejection right there, right? You're faced with perhaps living a dream, an exciting moment, and then they laugh at you and they tell you to get lost.
Yes.
So
yes.
Where do we go from there?
Well, what happened was weird because I thought I didn't have expectations. I thought that my life would just go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they broadcasted my audition, I still had no expectations because most people, they broadcast it, that's it. They watch it, they laugh at it, the end of it, that's it, right?
Yeah.
But for my case, it wasn't that way at all. What happened was I got 150 emails that I have no idea who they came from.
Yeah.
But they seem legitimate. Entertainment Tonight, Ellen DeGeneres.
Come on, that's right away.
Yeah, it
That's
was crazy.
amazing,
Like
yeah.
offers to show up at TV and appearances.
Yeah. And so you took them. You like, I'm on the Ellen show tomorrow.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I had to arrange it. I cannot do them all at once, but yeah, it was like a unexpected whirlwind.
Did you get any kind of help at this point? An agent, someone to look after your arrangements, your bookings, or what?
There were a few people trying to be my agents, but I think their demand was a bit unreasonable. So that's why we didn't go with it.
And so you've got all kinds of opportunities. You're on Letterman, right? You met.
I did not go on Letterman, but I was on Jay Leno.
Okay.
I was on who else? Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Extra. So I went on quite a few shows.
Howard Stern show.
Howard Stern, yes.
And were you in studio for that?
Yes.
So you met the guy, right?
Yes,
on?
I met the guy.
What kind of guy? What kind of guy? Is he?
Weird.
Yeah. He's tall, eh? He's
Yeah, tall.
Tall dude, long curly hair. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you've been on all these shows, and where does it go from there? What are your goals? You've achieved a certain amount of fame because of this. It seems like the opportunities are out there, and where do you take it from there?
Where do I take it? I feel that I want to become. I'm already doing it this year. I want to become like a professional inspirational speaker.
Mm-hmm. So at the time, though, that's like you. I know you put out some albums. So is it more centered around following that music dream? Was there a music dream, or were you just taking advantage of the fact that you were on American Idol?
Well, that's a great question. Here's what happened. Right after the audition, not only I got those emails,
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw people taking advantage of my image and my likeness.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people were selling T-shirts, bobbleheads, and other things like keychains with using my name on my picture.
Wow.
Yeah, and not only that, they had the WilliamHung.com was taken. It was like, what?
Wow.
Not only, and then the even crazier thing happened was one of my fans created a website for me, and it still stands today. It was WilliamHung.net.
Okay.
In less than a month, it got over 8 million hits.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like at that point, I had to do something. I can't sit around and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right, you know.
That's right.
And that's why my parents and I stepped in, and we had to take care of that, basically. Take care of that, and finally I decided that I just have to try my best, you know, with my entertainment business and see how far I could go.
Yeah, there's a point in life. I know people when they attack dreams, they attack things where you have to realize you need expert help. You need, you can't do it all yourself, and that's one thing I teach kids. Like when I played professional football and I was trying to get to the NFL, I was trying to do it all by myself. And at the point where I realized I needed help, people to coach me, people to work me out, and people to, like an agent, to contact the teams. And then within that framework, I was able to do the things that I did well, right, and play football. So, I mean, at this point, is it music that you're after? Like, I mean, you're setting up all these things where your image is out there and you're selling T-shirts, whatever it is.
It wasn't me. That's the thing.
Okay.
So it was like other people doing it because they saw an opportunity and they were making a lot of money already. And so it's almost like you're watching someone making money from you, and you can't sit on the sidelines.
That's right. And so did that work out? Like, I mean, you're not going to get 100% of it, but did you
get?
Yeah,
but I did get a substantial from piece of it now.
Yeah. And I imagine you probably still do, right? Like, that's why you're on tour. And how often do you do weekends like this or days like this where you go out to a city and speak to groups? Is this a full-time schedule?
Not yet. It's still a part-time schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I did it full-time initially, performing and traveling for about 4 years.
Okay, and that was the music career, right? That's when you became sort of a pop star.
Yes.
And when you're touring, and how many seat theaters are you playing? Like, how many people are coming out to see it?
It wasn't really a tour, like an official tour, but it's more like getting a lot of independent offers, and we just get to travel many places like that.
And so you do, how many songs when you go out when you do?
It really depends. Usually they request the one song, and then I have an option to do more, like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But usually that is that one song that everybody wants to hear.
Of course, and that's the She Bangs one,
Yeah,
right?
She Bangs.
And so, I mean, are there any favorite songs that you have when you sing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like songs like Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man!
Yeah, Rocket Man, yeah.
I wish I knew some more so I could sing with you. What can we sing? What do you got? We Are the Champions? You know that one, right?
I know that one, but it's not really my favorite.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Rocket Man! What's the next line? That's
Oh, It's a Miracle by Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, is Rocket Man's Barry Manilow?
No. Rocket Man is Elton John.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so now we're on to the tour. What have we learned? What have you learned from that whole experience? The whole experience of fame. I mean, it really was fame, right? Like you achieved fame, and forget about the money. Like that's. That's one thing. Forget about like a career as a musician. It was fame that you experienced. It's a very unique situation.
Yes.
And so, do you have empathy? How do you feel about these people who are locked into fame, and their lives are dictated by the fact that everybody wants a piece of them? Like, what peek inside their lives can you give us? Because it's like, if I drop you off at the airport now, are people going to recognize you?
I believe so. I believe that's a part of me that's not going to change.
And then they will approach you and say,
"Are you the She Bangs guy?" or point fingers.
Yeah.
You know, even before we had the try to get the drink at the Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And even one of those servers tried to get a picture of me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it is, and the money will probably always be there, right? I mean, some guys have a fallback job, and you got your fame as fallback, right? And so when you were at the peak of your fame, I guess right when it happened would have been the peak of your fame, correct? Or did it get bigger after that, like the movies?
Yeah, I think the part that really helped accelerated the fame and the business was getting a record contract from Koch Records in New York. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was they paid you a certain amount of money
to
put out albums.
Yes, an X% of royalty, because I can't say what it is.
Yeah?
X%.
Yeah,
yes,
of course. And then, so did you sell a lot of albums?
Yeah, the first album was the #1 independent album on Billboards.
Oh, nice.
It was called Inspiration.
Oh. And now you're an inspirational speaker.
Yeah. No.
So, is there other comparables? Can you think of any other people who've gone through this experience of this sudden fame? Because I mean, it was sudden, right? It was the.
Yeah. No, I can't compare anybody, because there was nobody that happened like my case. Basically, a failure, didn't make it to Hollywood, and still somehow got like a lot of fame and success out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is it worth it? Would you do it again? Would you?
I wouldn't. I don't know if I want to say do it again, but it's more like at this point in my life, since I can't change it, I can't run away from my identity, the She Bangs guy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use it in the right way. I'm going to use it to help other people, to make that difference.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Awesome. So do you speak to children as well, or?
I'm going to speak to everyone. So I have plans to speak to like youth groups starting in September. So I'll see how that goes as well.
Okay. So, and just to get back to your overcoming obstacles, what are the tools that you've learned that you now tell people to, like, what do we do to deal with our setbacks?
Well, the three steps I always tell people is to embrace failure, try new things, and then stop worrying about what others think of you.
Yeah, I mean, those are obviously the sort of what we think of when we think of sort of your story, right? I mean, so the first one was, what was it? Embrace change?
Embrace failure.
Embrace failure, which is huge, right?
Yes.
I mean, you look at the most successful people, and they look back, and it's all how they've reacted to failure, right? What would you consider your greatest or biggest failure?
Well, the biggest failure, I would say the biggest failure is when people make fun of me. They think that what I'm doing is wrong. I'm making a fool of myself, and to some extent that may be true. But I also have to look at, as I mentioned, the other side. Could I really just stand around, cross my arms, and do nothing when all these other people are taking advantage of me?
Yeah, exactly. And so you faced a bit of criticism, I suppose, at the time?
Yes, definitely.
And what shape did that take?
Well, it was verbal assassination. William Hung is the worst singer ever. William Hung portrays the biggest Asian stereotypes. Go back to school.
Yeah.
So things like that.
It's just like people have nothing better to do with their time.
Yeah.
Right? Than to knock down. And so the second step of our overcoming obstacles is what?
Try new things. So I try new things. I basically said to myself, I don't care. I have to start worrying about what other people think, and I try to sing. I try to put out DVD. I try to shoot a movie.
Yeah.
I try things that I've never done before in my life.
And what can we expect to see you do in the future, as far as trying new things?
Well, trying new things. Right, this year I'm trying to become a professional speaker, and I believe I'll get there, and I'll keep working on it. And maybe trying new things will be putting out my own book.
That's a great idea, for
Yes.
sure. That would, I mean, you've got the fame, and the book would be a no-brainer.
Yes.
For sure. And you travel a lot, so you'll be in the airport, sign them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Try
don't
new
mind it.
things. Right on. And number 3 is?
Well, the number 3 is stop worrying about what others like think of you,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to do that, but it's always easier said than done. And I think that sometimes the people I worry about the most are the few people I love the most. So it's not easy. Yeah, I just have to find that right balance.
So what you're saying is the only people you worry about what they think of you are the people that are the closest to you.
I can't say I'm not worried. That's
Mhm.
that's not right. That's not the right message I want to put out there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that for me, the people that's closest to me tends to be the people I worry more about, because I care about them. I care about whether they have the same values as mine. Are they willing to, how do I say it, share my mission or support, on board with my mission.
Yeah. I would think, and I know you face criticism, and that's terrible. But when I look at the whole thing, and I look at you on stage and trying that, to me, that embodies what your message is, right? Like, who cares what people think, right? Like, you're going to get up there, you're not going to be great, but you're going to give it everything you got. You're going to give it 100%. You're going to sing from the heart with passion, and you're not worried about anything. And I to me, you've been an inspiration to maybe millions. And is that something that you've also noticed?
I think I really noticed it this year, that when I got into speaking,
Yeah.
professional speaking, I realized maybe I could make that difference. Yeah, that's one of that's probably my main motivation for me to become an inspirational speaker instead of just singing.
And it feels great too, right? Like
Yeah,
when
it feels much better.
Yeah, when you go out there and you help people, and at the end, people are always that you've changed me, you did this, and I mean, I'm also a motivational speaker, right? And so that's what drives me, because I know that there's people out there who need that message, who need that boost, right? Like, they need to hear about someone's failures and how someone overcame it, because it's life, right? We all face the same struggles.
Yes.
The same. I mean, nobody has it perfect, right? You look at
Yes.
the most successful person, and like I said, they're the ones that have overcome the most.
Yes.
Right, man. I really appreciate you doing this. It's super great to meet you. And, next time you're in Ottawa, I'll take you drinking, and we'll have more fun. We'll do some karaoke.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
All right, which song should we go down here? She Bangs! She
Bangs.
Bangs!
Oh, that will always be the number one
The number
song.
one, the number one in my heart. All right, thank you very much,
Thank
man.
you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, ciao.
All right, welcome back. That was a great trip. A lot to learn from that guy. An amazing, incredible story. Great attitude. We learned it's okay to fail, try new things, and not to worry about what other people think. It's helped us out a lot. And next week on the podcast, things get flipped upside down with the very hilarious and beautiful Derek Sege. Until that time, stay cool.
Oh, baby, when she moves, I go crazy 'cause she loves like a flower, but she stings like a bee.